I realize a lot of nursing mothers, especially those in rural areas, can't afford disposable diapers. The thing is, Lions, I know what I'm doing, but I can't do it better. And with your partnership, I'll be able to scale up, launch these products into major chain stores in Nigeria and Africa.
I'm extremely impressed, and this is a solution to a real problem.
Damilola, let nobody tell you any different. You are really solving a big problem. Reusable diaper. Hey, me, I'll be your marketer for free. Are you kidding me? Like, this is one of the biggest challenge in Africa. Like, people want to go back to napkins and you're here solving problem. And you're saying you can't do it? Don't even try me. Don't even try me, because this idea should have gotten an investment in the den. I'm not even going to lie. I have a lot to say. In fact, in this particular episode, I had a personal beef with Mrs. Adenike. I mean, what is your problem? I don't understand. It don't look like anybody in the fashion business, you're just giving them serious tackling. Like, what is the problem, Mrs. Adenike?
This is my industry. Yeah, there's the business of fashion, and there's the manufacturing of fashion. Where do you want to play? You want to be a producer and you want to be a retailer. Looking at your business today, it's not an investable business.
What is the problem? I felt like crying after you said that. Oh, jeez. Guys, we are getting into the climax of the Lion's Den. I'm not even going to lie. These 4 amazing entrepreneurs were very creative. At least 3 of them were super creative, and I just couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, my gosh, in Africa we have people like this doing this. Hey, I was super proud though. For once, I am over proud to be a Nigerian and an African who can see people like this doing businesses, thinking of problems, real-time problems to solve. I mean, kudos to all the guys who hopped into the Lion's Den episode 11. Guys, it was lit. I'm not even going to lie. It was lit. Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you're hopping into my channel for the very first time, thank you so much. We talk about reality shows in here, and I'm talking about the Lion's Den. Guys, you really want to know everything that went down. I'm going to be doing that in this particular video. I'm going to be taking my time to talk about everything that happened in the current episode in the Lion's Den that we just watched. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing. Support this channel by being a member of us, by joining and contributing in the conversations that we have here. And thank you as you do so. Don't forget to turn on post notifications so that you always get alerts of my video every time I share new content. And you know, I would always come here, I would always tell you what I think about things that I watch. I'm going to give you my constructive criticism. And in this particular episode, I found a lot of loopholes. I found a lot of things that I think we all need to talk about. Now, guys, you guys know that in every episode of the Lion's Den, 4 entrepreneurs always hop into the den to get an investment for whatever they're pitching for. And so it wasn't different from the ones we've been previously seeing. If you are new in this channel, you don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about a business and investment reality show that is open for entrepreneurs to help them get the funding they need for their business. Guys, this so if you are new to my channel, there's something I also do in my videos. Just to make sure that this video doesn't end up being very lengthy, it's going to be divided into 2. So there's going to be a part 1 of this video and there's going to be a part 2. You don't want to watch part 1 and leave out part 2 because you're not going to get the whole gist. I usually talk about the first 2 entrepreneurs who came into the den and then the last 2 entrepreneurs who came into the den. And in this particular video, I'm going to be talking about the first 2 entrepreneurs who came into the den. The very first person who came into the den was Damilola, a fashion entrepreneur who was solving a big problem. I mean, I would say her unique product was that she was asking for just 5 million naira from the Lions for a 10% equity share in her business. And one of the unique things she does in her business is to make, she actually created, would I say invented, the strategy or the fashion style of making reusable diapers. Guys, if you are a nursing mother, you know how expensive it is to buy this, abroad products that we import into the country, and then you have to throw them away after use. Guys, I know this probably sounds a cake, but I know down here in Africa, a lot of people would want to buy a diaper like this. I'm not going to lie. This is solving a problem, a real-time problem. It's going to help reduce costs. I loved everything she said. I loved her pitch. I loved her product. Guys, if you watched it, I mean, let me know your thoughts. How did you feel about this particular product? Damilola really pitched a very, she was solving a serious problem. I'm not going to lie. I'm a huge fan of the product she pitched, and I don't know if you are an investor and you're watching The Lion's Den. I think this is an opportunity for you to also get into the lives of this entrepreneur. See how you can also be a part, contribute. I mean, not all businesses who come into this Lion's Den get funding, but some of them actually need this funding. If sometimes, unfortunately, maybe because of the bad way they present their business or their bad pitching techniques or lack of strategy, they just end up leaving the den without any form of investment. So basically, Damilola was pitching for this, and I really loved her product. I'm not even going to lie, I'm a super fan. And guys, when she was talking, she literally reminded me of Chika Russell. You guys, if you know Dragon's Den, if you know Chika Russell then you know what I mean. Like I felt like a Chika Russell kind of product brand was there, but one thing that was lacking in Damilola's pitch was just I don't know, it was just her clarity was a bit vague, and I think she practiced her pitch too much before she came into the den. I think that was one of the huge things that kind of disrupted and made her not to get what she wanted to get in the den. Because when she said this, guys, listen to these pitches and tell me
the point is, Dragons,
not hear
I know what I'm doing.
In Damilola's
I'm already
pitch.
doing it, but I can do it better. And with your partnership, Chicas can become an even more successful business and establish global brand.
The thing is, Lions, I know what I'm doing, but I can't do
when
it
she
better.
said can't, baby girl, you can. Don't say you can't. So I just felt like it was just, you know, when you over prepare for stuff. I know the tension in this den is high. I know it's not easy to stand in front of investors and ask them to invest in your business, in your dream. So I just felt like that was probably the thing that made her not to gain that ground. It just looked like a stereotyped pitch for me. I felt like if she had brought in some of her very real-time stories and personal things, if she had just taken her time to do a perfect presentation, maybe she would have been more grounded. Nobody would have been able to throw her off balance. This is just my sentiment, I'm sorry. And guys, so basically, when Damilola pitched her business, she was actually asking for 5 million naira for a 10% equity share in her business. And you know, the first person who came at her was I think Dan was like, tell us more about the disposable diaper. You know, when Dan asked, tell us more about disposable diaper, and she she demonstrated how it's being used, and she said a lot of things that made a lot of sense. She shared about how her inspiration came about. She said, I mean, that she watched somebody somewhere washing normal diapers that were supposed to be thrown away and reusing it. And so I think that was where the inspiration came for her to start making reusable diapers and be started. And the fun part of it is that when I looked at that product, it really looked like this product looks good. So after she had explained that, you know, Mrs. Adenike came in, and I don't know, but guys, I'm going to say this thing explicitly. I'm sorry if you're coming into my channel. You guys, I share my undiluted thoughts here. Personality Highlights with Judice is just an undiluted space where I share it the way it is, the way I see it. I'm sorry if it might not go down well with some people, but I love constructive criticism in this channel so very much. So like, I've been nursing this thing to say it for a long time, but you know, right now I think I need to say it. I don't know, but for some reason I just feel like Mrs. Adenike should just stop being the first person to talk after a fashion entrepreneur pitches about their business, because she kind of discourages other lions to really invest in fashion entrepreneurs. I don't know why, I just feel that way. I probably am wrong, I probably am right, I don't know. It's just my thoughts, very undiluted, no disrespect whatsoever. throw in your comments. Tell me what you think about what I just shared. But really, I feel like, when you are a super person in a particular niche, everybody is looking out for your judgment, everybody's looking out for your thoughts, and I know she wants to make sure that everybody's taking informed decisions and all that. But I feel for some reason she kind of just gives little room for fashion entrepreneurs to really grow and get investment in that den. I'm not going to lie, this is not the first time, and I don't think it's going to be the last time. I know these fashion entrepreneurs have their way of not doing a lot of things, but seriously, when we see fashion entrepreneurs who are really going the extra mile, I just don't know, but I really wish I could see that support from her. Yes, she did support, but I kind of felt bad at what she said. I don't know why I took it personal. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it's not as if it's any big deal. I mean, it's a show. We need this constructive criticism. This is going to help all these entrepreneurs get back on their feet, get to the drawing board, know what to do it better. But basically, I just feel that she should be the last person to talk when it comes to this, because she's always a person that brings in the spoiler alerts. She brings out the red flags and flies it so high, and then before you know it, all the other lions are going out. I mean, when Mrs. Adenike said what she said, your business is not investable, I was like, oh my gosh, why would they say a business like this is not investable? The only thing I saw in that business was, okay, her numbers were really down, because Kiara was the first person that really tackled her. Kiara was like, what has been your turnover? She said she had made about, I think, 600K. She said she had made about 700,000 in 2019, and in 2020 she made 300,000. There was obviously a decline, probably because of the COVID-19. We all understand that part. And then maybe that was just the reason why people, like the other lion said, that her business looked like it was still in the early stage. Yes, it looked like it was in the early stage, but I think I really aligned with Damilola's dream, because her dream was to manufacture these diapers in Nigeria, and I think it's a solid dream. So eventually Mrs. Adenike was like, what is your core, like, what's your core concentration, what's your big dream? And when she said that, I was thinking something good was going to come, but something terrible actually happened. And Mrs. Adenike was like, no, you're everywhere. In fashion business, there's a difference between this and that. You need to be somewhere. There's a difference between the business side, there's a difference between distribution and manufacturing. And really, I don't know, but I really felt like Damilola, would have gotten an investment in that, in the den, if Mrs. Adenike was not the first person to speak. Maybe other lions would have been able to just share their thoughts about her business in an undiluted manner. Like, I know Mr. Dan would always be very good at he's very good at criticizing. I love his constructive criticism a lot. So Mr. Adenike was like, you know what, I'm out. I'm not even going to invest. Your business is not investable. Maybe it's because it's too early, I don't know, but that was just the reason why Mrs. Adenike said she was not going to be investing. The next person that left her business was Dan. Dan was like, where did you test this? And she said she tested it with her baby. Well, Mr. Dan is just this world standard, product kind of person. And he just found a lot of things that we felt it was not okay for him to invest. He opted out. And Bolaji was like, you know what? This is at the very early stage. I will not be investing. Paul saw something in her business and said that she should make sure she picks on the offer, because Mrs. Adenike offered to give her mentorship for 6 months to help her strategize her business, which I think is actually a good one, because most of these entrepreneurs need like mentorship, need like a follow-up, backup, like, tell them what to do so that they know how to run their business kind of thing. So I really think that, but really in my heart of my heart, I know Damilola was seriously disappointed. I know she came into that den believing that her product was going to give her just 5 million. I mean, she was asking for small money, 5 million. I know I don't have 5 million in my account, though. I know it probably sounds very funny for me to be saying that, but 5 million looks like a reasonable amount, a decent amount to ask, and she was giving out 10%. Anyway, unfortunately, even though Damilola came with a beautiful product that was going to be solving an African problem, it was going to be helping people who could not afford to buy disposable diapers, afford something for themselves, because she was selling them for 600, which actually looked kind of reasonable for me. And I think she had another pack for 1, 2. It kind of looked reasonable, And at the end of the day, she didn't get any investment. All the lions were like, just take the mentorship from Mrs. Adenike, come back. And Mrs. Adenike said something, a parting words to her, that she should try. She looks forward to seeing her in her mentorship program. So whatever it was, the first entrepreneur, Damilola, did not get any investment, and I was very livid. I was livid. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to hide it, because I felt that business needed that money. I know you would have done a lot for her. Maybe her numbers were very small, because Kiara was like, okay, how much did you invest in your business? 500K, and you're valuing your company at 50 million. So you need me to pay you times 50 of what of your business. Like, you know, it sounded really ridiculous when Kiara said that. But this goes a long way to tell you that those lions really don't want you to overestimate, overvalue your company, because they're the ones paying back, and maybe it's totally understandable. But I feel like as an entrepreneur, when you overvalue your company, there should be something you should be able to use to defend it. When you're really grounded, when your pitch is really sound, when you have putting your strategies in place, when you understand what your value proposition is, I think it will give you a solid ground to say, okay, you know what, this is why I'm valuing my company at this point. So basically, guys, I just believe that once you understand, you're very clear about your business, you have that confidence, and you're not trying to be too wordy with what you're doing, but you're speaking from a place of, you know, I have a structured business. I just think you're going to buy over these people. I think you'll be able to buy them over. So I actually felt like the reason why Damilola didn't get what she wanted from the Lions, the way she you know, handled her pitch, I would say that was not really so confident. I was expecting that confidence from her, from somebody who has produce something. I mean, she really needs, I know she has been studying. I know she probably has learned one or two things from Chika Russell's legendary pitch. And maybe that was why she had to buy some of that to her business. But I feel there's something unique about knowing how to present yourself. So guys, I would just say, one of the reasons why, this is my candid opinion, let me know what your thoughts are. I just feel like the real reason why Damilola did not get that investment was her pitch wasn't really grounded. Yes, despite the fact that Mrs. Adenike came in first, which was a spoiler alert, I just felt like she wasn't really grounded. She didn't really respond back to Kiara when he asked that question, even though it was a sarcastic question. If she had defended herself very well, I mean, these lions are there to criticize you, to constructively criticize you, so that they'll know if you really have that cutting edge to move to the next phase. Basically, that was just it for Damilola. She didn't get any kind of funding whatsoever. No 5 million was given to her, and I hope she actually gets that funding. I know she needs mentorship, but I know she needs that money to get that business started already. Of course, one of the things I'd advise to her is getting a patent over what she has just created. I mean, I'm making sure that she has some kind of security or backup, like Mr. Dan would say. I won't even lie. These lions give valid advices, and it will make sense when people take these advices and actually practice them. So guys, the next entrepreneur we saw in the den is this guy, KODAC guy. He is a self-taught whiz, if you ask me. So Oluwadare came into the den. He was asking for just 10 million naira for a 10% equity share in his business. Guys, he was pitching 3 different products. Everything he said sounded intelligent. I mean, I was literally amazed at how creative Nigerians are truly becoming. Like, I really was very impressed. And then he was pitching his products. His products were more focused on IoT. If you don't know what IoT means, I'm going to be explaining that. It means Internet of Things. Guys, we're in the internet age. We're in the online phase where everybody's on their phones. Everybody's using the internet, Wi-Fi, data, stuff. You know, everything is just made easy. And this guy is leveraging on the current trend, tech trend, which is Internet of Things. That's called IoT. So IoT is simply, you could call it a simple augmented reality kind of phase when it comes to gadgets. So this is just it's like a connecting to your devices. Like, for example, the Alexa, we all know that when you say Alexa do this, it plays you music. That's just what IoT means. So transferring information, transferring data from a device to a device with very minimal human inputs. That's what IoT actually means. So his products really made a lot of sense. I mean, tech, we really need that level of tech. And he actually said that one of his biggest products, which he has started, you know, he had started coupling in Nigeria, was actually already being used in circulation. So it was actually for money. He even said what the money was going to be meant for, that it was more for his integration processes. You know, he made a lot of sense. I will not even lie. I was really looking now to see what these lions would say about this guy's product, because I was like, IoT, hey. Anyway, he shared that the IoT technology is more of what his business is into, but he renders this this power saving gadgets, like, you know, the solar panels and all that, that helps you charge your phones, have lights. You know, he said he had products for farmers. His speech was perfect. I will not lie. His speech was perfect. He knew exactly what he was saying. He knew what he was asking for. He knew exactly what he was going to use the money for. He has done his projection right. He had a running business already. Like, there was no excuse why the Lions would not even invest in this particular one. And so, guys, as he was pitching, the very first person who asked Oluwadare a question was Paul. You know, Paul was kind of drawn to him. Paul kind of connected to this guy immediately. I think he was like, can I come and see what your product is all about? And Paul had to walk over to where he had displayed his product and carried one of the products up to just, you know, he was like, is it as heavy as the, you know, inverter? You know, conversations were just light, and it made some kind of sense. Anyways, Kodak was asking for 10 million for 10% equity share. And guys, he said he was just trying to get money for his injection molding, that the 3D printing wasn't working for him, and so that was what he needed the money to do. So he was more precise. He knew what he wanted to use the money for. He spoke to the Lions about what he wanted to use the money for, and then of course after the pitch, the question and answer comes in. So after Paul had gone back to his seat, you know, they asked him, Paul asked if his product was made in Nigeria, and he said yes, everything was currently coupled in Nigeria. And you know, one of his products called Light Up is actually coupled in Nigeria. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a big one. And you know, guys, when he was talking, he was making a lot of sense. You know, eventually Mr. Paul came. Now, you know him, he will always give us baskets. He was like, what you're doing, you have serious competition out there. You know, he kind of unsettled him a bit. He asked him a lot of questions. He said, what are you going to be doing as regards competition? He also talked about the other products, and was like, why didn't you come out to also share more about these other products? Anyways, while the firing was coming, you know, the firing will always come. Question will come from right, left, center, you know. And the next person that actually spoke was, I think Kiara. Kiara was like, 10 million is too small for what you're asking for. And he actually said that it was more for the injection molding, that he was not going to be able to get him a plan, but he had actually spoken to a manufacturing company in China that would help them, you know, probably create, and then they couple it to Nigeria and of course get started already. I mean, this guy, I think he was very sensible for not asking for too much money. If there's anything I've noticed in the den, those Lions get very mad when you come and ask them for 100 million, 120 million, you know, and you value your company very high. So I feel like he came and asked for a very decent amount of money. He had done his job. There was already a running business. Clearly, we could see his product. So it was really looking like there's no how these Lions are going to say no to this man. No how. So Bolaji came in, and Bolaji was like, you know what? I'm just amazed. I'm intrigued at your intelligence, at your self-thought plan. I mean, how can you say you taught yourself this? What did you do before now? He said he was a veterinarian. And it was more intriguing, you know, when this guy kept on talking. At the end of the day, the very first person that made an offer was Paul. Paul was like, you know what? Okay. Bolaji actually asked him if he had partners. He asked him who worked on the robotics, what the share was. And this guy actually said he had just one person working with him, and then he had also one partner, and that they were sharing 50-50 of the business. And then, you know, Paul just jumped in. Like, everybody knew that this one was hot business, hot akara. And they all had to hop in. Paul was the first person to ask and make an offer, and he was like, you know what, I'm going to give you all the money you want, 10 million naira, but I'm going to ask for 50% of your business. And, you know, because this guy had said that this company was like half, he had a partner already, and it was 50-50, they knew that the 50% was going to be a big bite. And you guys know the Lions, they will not go less. So they would love to like get serious money for whatever they're asking for. So Paul was like, you know what, after you repay me back my money, you're going to get 25. I'm going to drop down to 20%. And when Paul said, I was like, okay, this really sounds it sounds really doable. It makes kind of sense for me if you ask me, you know. So Paul was like, you know what, I'm 50 now. When you pay me back, I'm going to drop back to 20%. And then after he was done, Kiara hopped in. Kiara was like, you know what, I'm interested in your business. I'm going to give you all the money you want, but I'm going to ask for a 60%. Guys, I was like, hey, gang, 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 gang. This is international standard of lions offer. This is what I want to hear. I don't want to be hearing, I want to, let's should be like dragging now. These entrepreneurs should be dragged. We should know that they are fighting for them. I mean, when you come with a solid product, there should be some fight for you. Kiara asked 10 million, 60% of my business. And at the end of the day, Bolaji also chipped in. Bolaji was like, you know what? 50%, I'm going to come into the business to 50%, and I will drop back, when you pay me back my money, I will drop back from 50% to 24%. So Bolaji was willing to go down 1% down. So at the end of the day, we noticed that Paul was the person who gave him the best offer when you pay, because they asked him how many months to take him to repay. He said 2 months. 2 years, 24 months. And he was like, okay, after you pay me, I'll drop down my equity. And then Paul was like, at that point, Paul knew he probably would lose this guy to either Bolaji or Kiari because we were hot. And guys, I will not lie, I love, for the very first time in the Lions Den, we actually saw a combat, like serious combat. Pitch, I pitch, pitch, I pitch, give your offer, I give your offer. Then Paul at that point was like, you know what, if I stand on my own, I'm going to lose. He now asked Kiari, would you be willing to work with me on this? And then Kiara was like, no problem. And then they had to do a readjustment. So Kiara had to do a readjustment, and he was like, okay. And because Paul's offer was the most Bolaji's offer was the most decent, but Paul had actually started giving out the first pitch. Because Paul knew that if he didn't adjust his offer, if he didn't partner with somebody, maybe Bolaji or Kiari would have picked the offer, picked the business. So Kiari made the adjustment. The adjustment was that they would allow him to pay back half of the money. So they'll give him 10 million naira, and after maybe 2 years or 1 year, he returns back 5 million naira. And then they will drop their equity from 50% to 25%. Okay, now the good part of the story is that they are not going to leave his business completely. He's not going to pay the money back in full. He's going to pay only half of the money. So 5 million is already like an investment into the business, into the future of the business, because of course more things will happen, for growth. And so the deal was sealed at the end of the day. In fact, at this point, I have to talk about the editing. Like, why did you guys allow us not to hear that part where he was agreeing? Because this young man, after he had the pitch, he had to go make a call. You guys know that there's room for you to make a call an advocate to make an informed decision. After his call, he decided that he was going to go with the person he had in mind in the first place. And you guys know that this guy came, most of them coming with a lion in mind. And this guy had been eyeing Kiara for a long time. So he said he was really excited. So it simply means that this is Kiari's industry or something like that. So even if Paul hadn't gotten the offer, even if Kiari's offer was like 60%, maybe he would have gone for 60% because that was his target lion who came asking for, partnership. So basically, I don't know why the editors missed out that part where wanted to hear how he dissed the others and accepted the others. Like, this is the content I'm looking for. I beg, this Lions Den editors, you guys take your time. Anyways, they just came back, and then we heard that the deal had been sealed. So it was more of he accepted Kiari and Paul's offer, which is to get 10 million he wants, pay back 5%, pay back 5 million, 50%, pay back 5 million, and then they keep the equity share of 25%, which is they own 25% of his company. Guys, that was literally the wrap for the first 2 entrepreneurs who came into the den. So guys, for the first batch of entrepreneurs, just one person got full funding of 10 million naira. And I would say congratulations to these guys who are coming to the den and cashing out big time. Guys, you probably want to check out the next video because I'm going to be talking about the last 2 entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for your watch time and stick here.